Greetings and Happy New Year to you all. This is Peter Scove at Music as a Journey, and this is the unofficial first video of the year. I say unofficial because I actually have a plan for my first video of the year. However, I was cleaning up in here today and I decided that maybe I would just do a video about me reorganizing the CDs, and as well I opened several boxes which had loads of albums in that I'm probably not going to have an opportunity to talk about. So I thought I would talk about the contents of one particular box which I really don't see any opportunity for me to speak about in the future. So first of all, just so you can see, here are some photographs from this morning when already half of the work was done. I spent last night, New Year's Eve, very late last night, I was reorganizing things. There were boxes that had, for example, 2 or 3 bands were in one box, and I have since added to the discography, so one band had to be kicked out, and then I decided to reorganize a whole bunch of stuff. So as you can see, there were just stacks of CDs on the floor, there were boxes on the floor, and in the end, here's a picture of the final product. As you can see, there are all these CDs stacked on the table are ones that need boxes. So I've got some lined up at Amazon to order, but I think I might just pop over to a secondhand store or two to see if there isn't anything to get there. So yeah, it's not really so much that things got better organized, it's just things got differently organized. I've changed what was up here, I've changed some of what was down on these shelves here, I've changed everything that's behind me here, just thinking about what my videos that I have planned for the new year are going to be about, and just trying to make certain groups or certain albums more readily accessible, because there are times where I have to pull out like 5 or 6 of these long boxes down below just to find what I need for one video, and then I have to put them all back in again later on, which is something I really find mendokusai, which means a real hassle in Japanese. Mendokusai is a really great word to use sometimes. Okay, so the box I want to talk about is stuff that is from the 90s or early 2000s. This is not, maybe it's just basically alternative rock, so I don't really have a lot of alternative rock topics to talk about. So this is stuff, I'll tell you about it as I go along. This is a band called Sensefield. This is an album called To End a Letter. I listened to this in a music store in Japan, well, probably some 20 years ago by now. When did this one come out? 2004. Okay, so yeah, there you go. 2003, 2004. The date that it should be listed on sale, I think, is up to 2004. Or that's when it came into Japan, I'm not sure. The first song on this just opens with an excellent guitar riff, and that just made me think I have to have this album. And I skimmed through some of the other songs. You can, go in the store, you can actually, there's a rack that has like 6 or 8 CDs, and you can push like disc 1 and you can listen and skip through the songs, or what's disc 2, so you can sample the music before you listen to it. At least that's how it used to be. I don't know if they have that anymore. I haven't been to a record store or a CD store in Japan for quite some time. But anyway, I really liked the opening song, and the rest of the songs were okay, but I haven't listened to it probably for close to 20 years. So I was almost thinking I should just get rid of it because I'm not listening to it, but it's been almost 20 years. If I listen to it now, I might have a very different opinion. You know what? I have Geddy Lee's book here, and I don't want to put stuff on his face. I somehow feel that's rude. Like, hey Geddy, I'll drop this on your head. So just shift things around a little bit. Okay. A couple here, then this, you guys know this one here. This is Filter, Short Bus, and Hey Man, Nice Shot. That was the song I got this for. I was kind of getting into that kind of like a heavy industrial type stuff somewhere in the mid-90s, so got that one. And later on, the Amalgamate, this one here. Both of these albums have some good songs. I think I actually like this one more. Just I tend not to pull it out to listen to. I pull it out. I mean, it's all saved in my iTunes, but it just hasn't been a theme to listen to recently, like in the last 20 years or so. So I just don't really listen to it. So I was almost ready to pack Filter away, but I thought, away means send it to Disc Union or whatever, but I thought I should probably listen to it again. Radiohead, Pablo Honey, of course I got it for Creep. I think the rest of the album was alright, but I don't remember it. Radiohead The Bends, that's the one Radiohead album that I think I would keep. I like 3 or 4 or 5 songs on that one. and the very popular OK Computer, which has so many people who like it, and I've just never really been able to get into it. A couple of songs are okay, but you know, I had a friend I used to work with. He told me like some weekends when he was really feeling down, he would just play video games and listen to this on repeat all weekend. Saturday and Sunday. It's all he did during his waking hours. I think he was a little disturbed. Oh, let's see here. White Stripes. Yeah, I mean, every album had like 2 or 3 songs I liked. Is this the one with medicine? The thing about medicine? Girl, you have no faith in medicine. I love that one. That's my favorite White Stripes song, and I really love the guitar solo. It's just really cool. And of course, this one here. What is it? Get behind me, Satan, or something like that. I don't remember. I remember the first track, Blue Orchid. Yeah, so I'm probably going to have to listen to these all again. This would be a good idea for this year. Rather than spend like tons of more money buying more CDs, even though there are more I want, I think I should really go through my collection here. And what's this? Icky Thump. Liked the first song, don't remember most of the others. Anyway, White Stripes, not like a tremendously huge fan, but obviously I bought 3. Veruca Salt, I just watched a video about them recently, their history. This was their, what is it anyway, 8 Arms to Hold You. Volcano Girls on here, a couple, and this was probably their biggest selling album. A couple of girls, couple of guys, girls-led band, it was pretty cool. Blur, Park Life, I like this Blur album. My friend had the one that came before this. One song, Star Shaped, I remember I liked. I also bought the one that came after this that had song number 2, which I liked. The rest of it didn't really care much for, but this one here I think is interesting. Lots of really unique tracks on here. So definitely keeping that one. Tori Amos, Under the Pink. I haven't listened to this probably since the mid-90s. I remember Cornflake Girl. Pretty Good Year was good. God was good. There's one here, The Waitress. Yeah, I believe in peace, bitch. That's a line in the song. 'Cause I believe in peace, bitch. Yeah. So yeah, I remember it was pretty cool, but I probably haven't listened to it since the 90s. And I've always thought I should get Little Earthquakes, and I never have. The movie Snatch inspired me to get this, Massive Attack Mezzanine. I don't know what you'd call this, actually, what type of music this is, but interesting. There was a scene in the movie Snatch where Brad Pitt's character is watching his mom's caravan burning, and he wants to run in to save her, but his you know, friends, whatever, are holding him back because it's too dangerous. And, you know, his mother is going up in flames. And that music from this album was playing. And I just thought, wow, what an atmosphere for that scene. So I remember liking a couple of tracks. But again, I haven't listened to it for about over 20 years. So probably time to... I don't even think some of these are in my computer yet. I haven't even put them into my iTunes library. Just never got around to it. Creed, Weathered. I know there's a lot of mixed opinions about Creed. I liked 3 or 4 songs on here, so good enough, keeping it. I don't remember what they are now, but I remember I liked them. Was kind of curious more about industrial metal, so I got Godflesh, Street Cleaner, but I find the production is really low, like the volume is really low on this, so I don't really feel anything in the music. But this was one of the like top 20 industrial metal type albums or recommended type things. Of course, back in the 90s, I got a couple of Marilyn Manson. Each album there is 1 or 2 songs I really like, and then some songs that are okay, and some songs I really don't care for. So, I mean, it doesn't matter, right? I mean, they're okay to listen to, but they don't, you know, stick with me. So, Mechanical Animals. I like that song. I don't like the drugs, but the drugs like me. That was really good. And then, of course, Beautiful People was my favorite one off that. Okay. All these guys, I'm going to have to get boxes. So back in the mid-90s, I went through a divorce. And during that time, I heard this album, Further Down the Spiral, which is a remixing of songs from The Downward Spiral by 9 Inch Nails. And I thought this was just the most interesting music I had ever heard in a long time. Really cool stuff. In fact, I actually prefer some of the remixes to the original album, although this one is pretty interesting too. Alright, and then because I thought these were good, I also got Broken, which has a couple of songs I really like, and the rest are kind of okay. I don't remember which one it was I like. the best on here. There's one that almost has a kind of Black Sabbath sound to it, but I forget what it is. There's also one or two, I think it's a hidden track on here. Maybe that was the one I liked best. Not sure. But anyway, Nine Inch Nails. Okay, let me shift these guys around here. So what else was in this box? Tonic, Lemon Parade. Anybody remember this one? Kind of, what is it? It's kind of like a hard rock band, but a melodic hard rock band, I think. There was a song on here, Soldier's Daughter. I really liked that one and a couple of others. But again, haven't listened to it since the 90s. So once it's probably not even in my iTunes either. I really should put that in there. I'll put this here. Matchbox 20, Yourself or Someone Like You. I like a few of the songs off here. I heard the second album. I felt it got way overproduced. This one here is a little bit more genuine and authentic. So still keeping this one. Haven't listened to it in about 20 years. Beck, Mellow Gold. Went out with a friend the other day and he played an alternative rock playlist in his car, and that opening song on here, what is it, Loser, was one of the songs that came up. So I haven't listened to this for ages. I actually did get another Beck album, Huero, which I like. I like one or two songs off of it, and I've put it in a box to get rid of it, actually. I'm not sure I really need to keep it. The Darkness, I talked about them not long ago, so their first two albums here. Love this one, and this one very different, but great stuff. Justin Hawkins has his own YouTube channel. I've been watching some of his videos. He's actually a pretty cool guy. Like, when he watches someone singing his songs, his opinion is very kind. he gives very positive comments. So and he's an interesting character, like that. And then after he went into rehab for his cocaine problems, some of the members formed a new band called Stone Gods. What the heck was this one called here? What the heck is it? Silver Spoons and Broken Bones. I really like this one too. Some of it's heavy, some of it is like beautifully melodic, some of it very uplifting music, some good fighting music, like you brought a knife to a gunfight, so you. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I gotta listen to that one again. The Hives, of course, I loved this. I thought this Hives album was brilliant. I really love the sound. Several songs on here I like. Gotta listen to that one again. The first album before this, there was one song I liked. And then I got the one that came after that, and it's pretty good, but I like this Tyrannosaurus Hives one. I like this one much better. I really got to listen to this again. There's some really cool stuff on there. I like that really old style, like 50s, early 60s, heavily reverbed guitar, like really cool. It reminds me like when I first started learning how to play the electric guitar, my friend's dad had this massive speaker, and if you cranked the reverb up, it sounded like you were in an empty community center hall playing. And that's what that guitar sound reminds me of. Jimmy Eat World, Futures. I like this album. I remember one song, forget what it was now. It was always playing on the radio when I was working at a warehouse in Canada for a while. And I like several songs off this album. There's Drugs Are Me. It was one of the ones I really liked. Yeah, actually I should listen to this one again. It's been a long time. Cool, Jimmy Eat World. I don't know what he called it. Is that emo? Or this one here, Sugar Cult? Palm Trees and Power Lines. Couple of really cool songs on here too. She's the Blade. She's the Blade and I'm just paper. Something like that. Anyway, Worst December. Oh, well, it's January now, so that's cool. Back to California. Yeah, I remember I liked a lot of this. It's got that, you know, that kind of, what is it, pop punk sound to it, and lots of melody. Again, haven't listened to that in about 20 years. Oh, this is just in here because there's nowhere else to go. This is Butthole Surfers, going back to the early 80s. And the hit song on here for me was, what the hell's it called now? The Revenge of Anus Presley. I heard that on the radio. There was a program on CFox in Vancouver in the 1980s. They did a thing about the Butthole Surfers, kind of like their history type of thing. And I remember that song, The Revenge of Anus Presley. It just reminded me of like some drunk guys playing on stage and smashing bottles. And I remember the guy saying that the lead singer guy, I forget his name now, was smashing bottles over people's the other members' heads, which I find kind of hard to believe because you know, bottle broken over your head while you're playing guitar. But to me it reminded me of what my impression of punk rock was before I really heard what punk rock was. It just sounds like people just making noise on the guitar and shouting, and then the silly lyrics like I'm gonna pull your toenails out like they were Twinkies. So love that track. I really don't remember the rest of this album. I had one more Butthole Surfers album, Locust Abortion Technician. I had it on cassette. I keep thinking I should get it because that was also an interesting album. And let's see here, of course. Oh, well, I guess I should just do this in order then. Here we go. Nirvana. I have these two. Like a couple, 3-4 songs off each of them. And the follow-up band, the Foo Fighters, like Stacked Actors of this is great. And what the heck was it on here? For Everlong, that's it, Everlong. So Everlong and Stacked Actors, maybe my two favorite Foo Fighters songs. And that's it. That's all from my 90s or early 2000s box, or basically like alternative rock or industrial stuff that has no other place to go. Everything else here, we've got like doom and stoner, I've got first wave black metal, I've got 3 stacks of death metal, I've got thrash that is not the big four or Exodus, Overkill, Testament. They're all in a separate box. Yeah, so these guys all need homes. So there we go. That's my unofficial first video of 2024. I'm going to be back in a couple of days with my official first video of 2024. I hope to see you in that one there. Everyone, hope you had a good, safe New Year. We had an earthquake here just a couple hours ago. Rather a big one. There was tsunami warnings on the west side, northwest side of Japan. And I was up here and we got like the message on the phone came in, earthquake, earthquake, and I was standing here and just thinking, okay, I just set up everything, so bring it on, I'm ready. And then it was just one of these like slow waving types where nothing really moves, but you start to feel dizzy, like a bit seasick, like you're on a boat gently rocking on the sea. Anyway, I don't know what happened with that tsunami, but it's not like back in 2011 or whatever. That was that was, you know, once in 100 years type of thing. So yeah, anyway, nothing fell. We're all good here. Okay, so yeah, that's it. See you in the next video. The camera will be in the regular spot for that one. I was actually going to stand up for this, but I realize it's better to have me sitting down. Okay, see you all, folks.